Hello everyone, welcome to Nilanjana's exclusive English lessons. My name is Nilanjana Sarkar and I create videos on English literature, English language, grammar for ICSE, CBSE, HSC as well as ISC. So I hope all of you are doing well. It's almost the end of the academic year and I understand that all of you have gone through all my explanations of Act 1 and Act 2 of Julius Caesar. And recently, I have also published a video where I have summarized the entire Act 2. So I hope all of you have watched that. If not, I'm going to share the link definitely in the description box. And yes, a quick update that my grade 10th admissions for ICSE grade 10th admissions, the enrollments are now open. So those who are interested can drop an email to the address that you can see on the screen so that we can start early, and approximately the classes are going to start from 1st of March. So those who are interested, drop me an email and I'm going to send you all the details. All right. And yes, today we are here to summarize the entire Act 1. Like when I did the summary of Act 2, some of you said that, ma'am, please do Act 1. So yes, right, I am here. Now, let's understand the basic, the background of Julius Caesar. Though I've already done a couple of videos on that, but this is just going to be a summary for the entire Act 1. So this play is filled with political intrigue, like it's a political drama. And in this play, we can also see, like, how there is a struggle for power in ancient Rome. And at the same time, we also explore, the various characters. We get to explore the character of Brutus. We get to explore the character of Cassius, of course, the great Julius Caesar. So all these character explorations we can do in this play, because if we read the play entirely, then obviously we can understand all the details. Now, what is the setting of the play? Now, we know that the setting of the play is around 44 BC. During this time, Julius Caesar, he was a very famous Roman general and statesman. So we get to see the cultural context also. And during this time, like when Julius Caesar was a great general and a statesman, actually he was never an emperor. He ruled while Rome was still a republic, but the kind of power he had, you can say that, he had all the powers to match any emperor. All right, so this is the basic background of the play, and a little bit of historical background is also given in one of my videos, so you can check that. So I'm going to quickly go to the summary of the scenes. Now, in Act 1, the three major events that you can take note of is, in the first scene, we can see Caesar's triumphant entry. Triumphant entry means what? Like, he is triumphant, he's victorious, and he has returned to Rome after a war, after defeating his rival, Pompey and his sons. And therefore, how the Roman people, the common people, they are very excited and they're very happy to welcome him. They want to give him new honors. They want to, give him a grand welcome, because they are just too moved and they are very impressed with the kind of victory that he has. And at the same time, we can also see that his growing popularity. He's very popular among the common people. So definitely when somebody is very popular, whatever they do, people, they always look up to him in awe. All right. Now in the second scene, we understand, we get the vibes of the Feast of Lupercal. Feast of Lupercal is a festival which is celebrated in a grand manner. And here in this feast, we can also see the holy chase, the run. Okay, so what Caesar tells and what happens during the festivities. This is what is there in the scene 2. And in scene 3, we can see how the conspiracy unfolds. So let us go one by one. Scene 1, Caesar's triumphant entry into Rome. The play begins with this. So we can see that there is an aura of celebration. Like, people are, grandly celebrating this. There's a grand procession which talks about his influence, like how popular he is. And at the same time, we can see that, there are some political tensions also. Now, what is the meaning of political tension? It means that, people, those who don't like Caesar, people who are supporters of Pompey, They don't like people celebrating like this. And therefore, we can see after this the conversation between the citizens and the tribunes. Now, who are the tribunes? If you can write in the comments, I want to see how much you remember. All right, so the tribunes, they actually rebuke the citizens, they scold the citizens. And what are they trying to say? That, how guilty you all can be. He makes them feel really guilty, and he tells that this is not correct, because just some days ago you all were looking up to Pompey, and the way you welcomed Pompey, the way you all used to rise to the buildings, on top of the buildings and the terrace. And why you did that? Because you just wanted to have a glimpse of Pompey. So that time you all were crazy about him. And what happened today? That all of you forgot. So how ungrateful you all can be. So the tribunes, they actually scold the citizens in a very agitated manner. And he also told them that you have to go back to your home. You all have to pray to God, so that, God, he doesn't punish all of you because of this ingratitude that you have shown. And also in this scene, we understand the social dynamics. Now, what is the meaning of this social dynamics? Like the difference in the class. The tribunes, they belong to a little, they're much better off than the common people. They are the officials of Rome. And the common people are the poor people, the carpenter, the cobbler. So they are very poor, and they make their living by doing this kind of hard work. So the common citizens of Rome, they are put to their work by the tribune. So here we can see there's a clear class distinction, where the upper class has a control on the poor people of Rome. And the citizens are made to believe that they should feel guilty to celebrate Caesar's victory. Okay. And yes, I also wanted to mention you that now that the final exams are almost around the corner, if you really need help for the important passages of Act 1 and Act 2, the notes are already published. So in these notes, what I have done is I've basically shortlisted all the important passages of Act 1 and Act 2 in the form of reference to the context, and have also given you, sample answers. So basically, you just have to get access to the notes and just read and learn the answers, and it's going to be super easy for your exams. So yes, the link will be shared in the description box. And those who want the early access to the videos of Act 3, the membership option is also there. You can definitely access all the videos of Act 3. It's already published. Okay, so this was the scene 1 of Julius Caesar. And it also provides context to the vivid imagery. Vivid imagery means the way Shakespeare has painted his words. It actually brings forth the historical setting to life. Then we come to scene 2, the Feast of Lupercal. So what happens in scene 2? In scene 2, we see that, first of all, everybody is gearing up for the festivities. So Caesar orders his wife Calpurnia to stand in the way of Antony. Now Antony is, running the holy chase, the holy run, which happens during this time. And it is believed that if you participate in the holy chase, and if somebody even stands in the way, then even you get purified, like all your sins are forgiven. All right, so Caesar, he was superstitious, of course we can understand from this, and he ordered Calpurnia to stand in Mark Antony's way. Why? Because he wanted Calpurnia to get rid of her infertility. She was a barren woman, she didn't have a child, so that's the reason he instructs her to stand. Now, very important in scene 2, the soothsayer's ominous warning. All right, so what does the soothsayer tell Caesar? That beware the Ides of March. So this itself sets a tone of foreboding. Something evil is about to happen, which contributes to the tension of fate and destiny. Fate, throughout the play, there is the theme of fate versus free will. Like, even though Caesar gets numerous warnings, he doesn't pay heed to any of those warnings, which tells that fate always controls whatever happens in our life. though we get numerous warnings, but sometimes whatever is going to happen will happen. You cannot avoid that. We also see, once the people they get into the festivities, we can see the discussion between Cassius and Brutus in scene 2. So in this scene, we see how the conspiracy is subtly brewing. It begins. It doesn't, come out in a very clear manner, because Cassius is very carefully trying to manipulate Brutus. So he does that. And at the same time, we get the anticipation of the forthcoming development. So the conspirational tension is very much vivid, the way Brutus and Cassius they converse in the drama. In this scene, Cassius also he proves his credibility, like he tells he's far better than Caesar. All right, the entire that they are all groaning underneath this aegis yoke, and at the same time he also tries to tell Brutus that you are no less than Caesar. In scene 3, we see a conspiracy which is being hatched, and we get to see a lot of deceptive conversations. So it is the stormy night before Caesar's assassination. So the scene begins with Cicero and Casca's discussion. So from the discussion, we can understand that the entire atmosphere is very ominous. It's a terrible night. Okay, there have been several narratives about unusual happenings. So a couple of unusual happenings is when Casca sees a common slave holding up his hand, which did flame and burn like 20 torches joined. So imagine the intensity of the fire. 20 torches joined, but still his hand remains unscathed, like it was not burnt. So this was one of the ominous happenings. Then he also obviously talks about the lion whom he meets in the Capitol, and the lion just quietly passed him without annoying him. It's again quite unusual. Then he also talks about the ghastly women, how they look, how men in fire walking up and down the street. I mean, there are plenty of those narratives there. So those who are looking for the line by line explanations, I've already covered that. So I'm not getting into the detail. What I'm trying to say is the scene 3 opens with Cicero and Casca's discussion, where we can understand the ominous atmosphere. Okay, and in the ominous atmosphere, we can also understand that there's a growing sense of the doom. Something very, very bad is about to happen. Cassius meets Casca. Now, after Cicero leaves, then we have a meeting between Cassius and Casca. So, what does he say? Again, Caesar's growing power is discussed with Casca, and again he tries to say that despite his physical weakness, how Caesar has grown to a magnanimous stature. And finally, it's a night of intrigues. There's a lot of deception, loss of deceit, betrayal. We can understand because Cinna is given a task by Cassius. So, what is the task Cinna is given by Cassius? He's told to go and put some, take this paper. He gives Cinna a paper and he tells him that you have to go and put it in the chair where Brutus usually sits. Why? Because he wanted Brutus to see that paper. And at the same time, he also tells that take this another and throw it through the window into his room. Fix this one with wax to the statue of his great ancestor. And after you have done all that, you have to come to Pompey's Porch where we are waiting. We are going to wait for you. We over here refers to all the conspirators, right? So this is how the scene ends. And obviously, Casca, he tells that Brutus's position, Brutus's presence in the conspiracy is very important because he is a person who commands respect among all the citizens. He's a favorite hero of the people. He has already won the hearts of people. Okay, so finally, after all that, they leave and it's already midnight. And before the night is over, they decide to go to Brutus's house and convince him finally for the conspiracy. All right, so this is the end of Act 1. So I hope you all got a gist of basically the important facts, the key events of Act 1. And at the same time, as you go ahead, you're going to get introduced to a lot of subplots. So in this drama, there are also individual subplots. Subplots refers to the conversation between Portia and Brutus, the conversation between Calpurnia and Caesar. So, through these subplots, actually, we understand what is going on in the character's mind. We get to know how Shakespeare has developed these characters as real flesh and blood human beings, and how it adds to the multi layered and rich narrative experience of the drama. All right, so with this, I think you've got a gist of the entire Act 1. I have highlighted the key events. I repeat, I've only highlighted the key events. The line by line explanations are already there on the channel. Any details you want, you can go and refer to that. So, thank you so much for listening. And yes, if you have any questions, you can write to me in the comments. And see you soon again with my next video. And yes, if you think the video was helpful, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, share this video with all your friends, because everybody has to learn this drama, Act 1, Act 2, thoroughly for your final exams, right? So if you have the summary, it actually helps a lot. And at the same time, if you subscribe, you're going to get access to all the content. You will not going to miss out anything. And it's also going to help me reach out to more students, more people, so that we can, go ahead in this journey together. So thank you so much and have a nice day. Goodbye.